This is the incredible story of the C-17 crash. Massive, powerful, and designed to carry the weight of a battlefield. The Boeing C-17 Globemaster III is one of the most advanced military transport aircraft in the world. It has a remarkable track record of reliability, moving troops and cargo swiftly and safely to where they're needed. But even with its strength and cutting-edge technology, accidents can and do happen. And when they do, the results can be tragic. On a fateful day in 2011, one of these Globemasters went down in a fiery crash during what was supposed to be a routine training exercise, taking the lives of all 15 service members on board. How did such a powerful aircraft with such a sterling reputation end up in a deadly crash? Let's find out. Now, let's rewind to July 14th, 2011. At about 9:40 a.m., a C-17 with tail number 94, 6136 took off from its base, carrying 5 crew members and 10 passengers. Their mission: a routine, low-flying training exercise over the California desert, simulating a scenario where they'd be moving supplies to a forward operating base under the threat of enemy fire. The crew was experienced, having logged countless hours in the air, and the aircraft was top of the line, maintained meticulously to ensure it was in perfect flying condition. So everyone on board felt confident, ready to take on the simulated challenge ahead. As the C-17 roared through the skies, it banked sharply, mimicking evasive maneuvers to dodge enemy fire. The 10 passengers secured themselves tightly, bracing for the intense G-forces that accompanied these aerial acrobatics. The training was designed to push them to the limit, testing their ability to maintain control under duress. Each sharp turn, each sudden drop was a testament to the aircraft's durability and the pilot's skill. However, as the exercise reached its climax, a series of events unfolded that no one could have predicted. As the C-17 executed a steep turn at a dangerously low altitude, something went terribly wrong. The aircraft, with its massive wings and heavy payload, simply didn't have enough altitude to pull off the maneuver. It wasn't supposed to come to this. The training had been planned meticulously, factoring in the plane's capabilities and limitations. But now, reality was hitting hard and fast. With grim determination, the pilots fought to regain control. They pushed the throttles forward, attempting to pick up speed and generate enough lift. But it was too little, too late. In a heart-stopping moment, the C-17's right wing dipped dangerously low, scraping against the ground. The earth tore up beneath its wing, sending a spray of dirt and debris into the air. For a horrifying instant, the plane hung suspended, caught between the sky and the ground, before it was ripped apart by the unforgiving terrain. In a split second, the C-17 was engulfed in flames, erupting into a fiery inferno that consumed the entire fuselage. The impact had been so violent that the plane broke apart in mid-air, raining wreckage down onto the desert floor. Amidst the chaos and destruction, there was no hope of survival. All 15 service members on board, both the crew and the passengers, were tragically lost. The news of the crash sent shockwaves throughout the Air Force community and the nation. C-17, an aircraft known for its reliability and robustness, was supposed to be more than capable of handling the training exercise. The question on everyone else's lips was, how could such a powerful machine with such a stellar safety record end up in a fatal accident? In the aftermath of the crash, the Air Force launched a comprehensive investigation to determine the cause of the accident. The focus was on understanding what went wrong during the training exercise, how a routine maneuver turned into a deadly catastrophe. After a thorough examination of the wreckage and a meticulous analysis of the flight data, investigators uncovered the factors that led to the crash. What they found was a combination of pilot error and a failure to adhere to safety protocols. The pilots, in an attempt to execute a particularly challenging part of the exercise, had taken the aircraft lower than it should have been for that maneuver. When the C-17 touched down, it scraped along the ground, tearing away part of its right wing. This initial contact with the ground destabilized the aircraft, causing it to plummet earthward. Despite the pilot's valiant efforts to regain control, the damage was done. The low altitude and the weight of the aircraft proved to be a deadly combination, leaving no room for recovery. The findings of the investigation were released to the public, providing a somber account of the events leading to the crash. While the report placed the blame squarely on the pilots, it also highlighted systemic issues that contributed to the tragedy. One significant factor was the lack of adequate supervision during the training exercise. There was no other aircraft in close proximity that could have provided assistance or guidance to the pilots as they executed their maneuvers. This absence of support left the pilots isolated and without help when things started to go awry. Another critical issue was the failure to follow established safety protocols. The pilots had deviated from the approved flight path, taking the aircraft into areas and at altitudes that were not part of the training plan. This deviation, while perhaps well-intended, ultimately led to the crash. The report also pointed to a lapse in risk management. The crew had not properly assessed the risks associated with the low-altitude training and the potential consequences of a mishap. They had underestimated the challenges of executing such a maneuver with a heavily loaded aircraft. In the wake of the tragedy, the Air Force took swift action to prevent a repeat of the disaster. Steps were taken to enhance training procedures, tighten flight safety rules, and improve risk management protocols. The memory of the 15 service members who perished in the crash served as a grim reminder of the importance of these measures. The crash of the C-17 was a stark reminder of the unforgiving nature of aviation. It demonstrated that even the most advanced and reliable aircraft in the world cannot overcome the laws of physics and that human error, no matter how unintentional, can have catastrophic consequences. Yet it also showcased the courage and dedication of the men and women who serve in the United States Air Force. These service members put their lives on the line every day to protect the nation, and their readiness and bravery in the face of danger is truly commendable. The legacy of the 15 service members who died in the crash lives on. They are remembered not only as skilled airmen, but as patriots who made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. Their sacrifice serves as a constant reminder of the cost of freedom and the importance of honoring those who serve. After this disaster, several changes were made to prevent similar tragedies. First, the training exercise itself was modified. The risky low-altitude training was removed from the routine and safer alternatives were implemented. Second, supervision during training exercises was increased. The requirement for a second aircraft to monitor and assist during certain exercises was introduced. And finally, risk management procedures were strict. Crew members were required to conduct more rigorous risk assessments before starting any training exercise. These changes, while painful to implement, were necessary to honor the sacrifice of the 15 service members. They were a tribute to the fallen, and a commitment to ensuring their deaths were not in vain. The C-17 Globemaster remains an integral part of the Air Force's air mobility fleet. It continues to perform vital missions around the globe, transporting troops and cargo with unmatched speed and efficiency. Its reliability and versatility have made it an indispensable asset for the United States and its allies. As it soars through the skies, it carries with it the legacy of those who came before, reminding all who serve of the responsibility that comes with the privilege of being part of the United States Air Force. The crash of the C-17 in 2011 was a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance and preparedness. It was a tragedy that shook the nation and left an indelible mark on the Air Force community. But from this tragedy emerged a stronger, more resilient Air Force, committed to honoring the fallen and ensuring that their sacrifice was the catalyst for positive change. If you found this story informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more aviation history and real crash stories. Thank you for watching. Catch you guys next time.